Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper. And today I've got a fractured card technique to show you. This is the card we're going to be making. Now it's from the Latte Love stamp set, which is an online exclusive, and there are matching dies. So this is the stamp set, which is quite nice, and then the die set. The good people of Stampin' Up have done their usual and they've given us some extra dies. So there's a cafetiere, there are some extra little teacups here. You've got this, which I believe can be like an American jug, you know, like a percolator jug, and that's the handle for it. And then you can cut the contents in a different colour. You've got this little stand here, which I think you can then make this into a blender with this on the top. I'll be honest, I've had it a while, but I haven't had a chance to play with it properly. Then you've got this, which cuts out the little coffee beans on the front. You've got these circles here, which cut out the top of the cup and the inserts for the cup. And then you've got this cute little one here, which fills in the top of this mug. Here, you've got a coffee splatter, a spoon, an individual coffee bean, which there is also a die for. What else? Oh, a sort of, you know, steam coming off your coffee effect. And then some nice greetings. You're the best part of my day. This one's on me. Thanks so much. Hello there. Let's catch up. So it's quite a nice, useful set. And whilst it's called Latte Love and it is meant to be coffee, because they've given us these little sort of espresso cups, you could make it into a tea set, although you wouldn't put those on top, but you could use this one and the steam. So, you know, there are other options. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. I love this little cafetiere. So this is our card. So I wanted to make this video quite quick so you can get on with doing the card. So I've already pre-cut everything. So I'm just going to talk you through this technique and then we'll get on with it basically. So what I've got is I've got half a sheet of early espresso. So this is cut across an A4 sheet, which gives us 21 and then by 14.8, and it's scored at 10.5. Okay, that gives us our basic C6 card base. If you're not in the UK and you use letter size, then obviously half of your letter size sheet will do the same thing. Okay, then what I've done is I've cut my DSP to 9.5 by 14 point, no, I tell you a lie, 13.8 by 9.5. So that's actually 10 centimeters smaller. But the reason I've done that, ordinarily we would cut our first matte layer at 10 by 14.3, and that would fill in that space nicely. But because we want some gaps here to show the fractured effect, we have to go down another 5 centimeters. So we're going down to 13.8 by 9.5. Okay, now what I did before I cut this, I cut my DSP stacked up, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to bring you in a bit to show you what I did. So this paper unfortunately is not available anymore. This was a celebration paper to go with this online exclusive. So although you can't get this paper anymore, you could easily make some DSP using the stamp set. If I bring that back in, you can see that one of the papers is coffee beans, so you could stamp using the coffee beans that are here and here. One of the papers is this swirly effect, which I know you're not going to necessarily be able to get that. There are ink techniques to do that sort of marbled effect, but you could stamp these two cup toppings. And again, this is the cup, this upright, looking down from the top cup with these in. So you could recreate that paper, this paper, and you could actually do an ink, sort of a marbled technique would work to make that paper. So you could recreate this technique without the DSP. I've got the DSP, and one of my New Year's resolutions was to stop buying DSP and just stroking it and to actually use it. So that's why I'm using it today. So I've got 3 pieces of DSP. Now bear in mind these are all double-sided. Okay, but, and this is the but, if you turn them over, you will have to reverse your piece of paper, if that makes sense. So if I just quickly show you here. So this is some of the trimmings that I've got left that I'm just putting back together to show you how they went. No, that piece doesn't go there. That piece goes there. Now, I'm not going to lie, I spent ages trying to work out how I'd cut this. So if you do this technique, this has got 5 cuts. I would recommend 4. And also, if you do this technique, I would strongly suggest... See, I can't put it back together again now. I would strongly suggest that you lay it out as you cut it. See, I've moved this and now I can't get it back together. Right, that's got to go in there somewhere. Nope. Oh my word. I kid you not, I spent hours trying to work out, well, not literally as, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. There we go. Trying to work out how I'd cut this paper. And in the end, I gave up and I cut some more, and then I was determined to get it back together. So you get the gist, okay? So if you put 3 layers together, you can get 3 cards. If you want 2 cards, put 2 layers together. So you put your layers together, and then I have literally cut across there, down there, across there, and across there. But cut it however you want, but obviously cut sections off. But as you cut them, lay them out how you want them. Okay, so for example, you would have that one, and that one, that one, and that one. You tend to end up with opposites. That one and that one, because obviously we don't want them next to each other, the same papers. So that's that one. And then on this one you would have that one. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, okay? That one, that one, that one. As I said, this has got 5 cuts in it. The next time I did it with 4, and that makes it easier to line it back up. Okay, so can you see there that we've got our 2 card fronts? Now, if I wanted to use the reverse side, I've obviously got to flip the whole thing, otherwise it won't work. So we'd have to go, where were we? We'd have to go there, 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 and there to make our rectangle again. So you can use both sides. So you've effectively, with 2 sheets of paper, you've effectively got 4 different card fronts. So that's the way round that I actually cut it, and this is flipping it to use the other side. So just be mindful that if you're going to flip it, you've got to flip the whole thing over. So from the top to the bottom. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Right, I'm just going to move those out of the way because I don't want to muddle those up again. Okay, so this is the card we've done. Let me show you how I put it together. So because I got in such a muddle before, I actually ended up recutting my papers, and this time I only did 4 cuts. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you know, cut as many times as you like, but obviously be aware that once you've cut it, you've then got yourself a jigsaw puzzle to do. Okay, and then it's simply a case of gluing the fractured parts of your DSP down. But a word of warning, make sure you start with either the top or the bottom, not the middle piece, because you do need to line up these edges to get your border around the card. Okay, so I'm using Tombow, so it does give me a little bit of wiggle room. So start at one corner or the other. So on this card, I'm starting at the bottom, and less really is more with the glue, because you don't want it squelching out. Now I've done exactly what I told you not to do. Oh my lord. Right, that's that piece there. I've done exactly what I've told you not to do. Let's leave that bit for now. Let's put this piece on. It's really easy to get in a right muddle. if you move the bits around on your table, like I've just done. So I'm going to go for this corner. Now, ideally, you want to start in one corner and work your way round. But since I've got myself in a bit of a pickle, okay, so what I'm doing, I'm looking at my card that I've already made, and that tells me which bits have got to go where. There. Now, you can see this part here is too close, but I can't peel it off because it's already glued down. So do as I say, not as I do. So start in one corner and work your way around, giving yourself equidistant gaps. But it's fine, we can hide the fact that that is going to be too close. So I just want to get my borders right here. So that lines up, but you can see that piece is now way too high because I went from one corner to the other because I messed up this piece. Okay, so what we can do, there's always a way around it. So these pieces are going to be fine. Now, I could attempt to pull this off, but the chances are it's going to rip the paper. Let's have a go though. Yeah, you can see the paper's splitting. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to leave that as it is. But as I said, start in one corner and go round. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this bad join here using my coffee cup. So I've stamped the coffee cup in Petal Pink, which is one of the colours in the papers. And then I've stamped in Pecan Pie, the coffee, in the top. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals. What have I done with them? There they are. So I know I say it lots and lots, but use the edges on your dimensionals. It's worth investing in a pair of Teflon scissors. Stampin' Up don't sell them, and I keep hoping that they will, but they haven't got the memo yet. So yeah, these are just from a normal craft shop, but the blades, as you can see, are black and they're Teflon coated, which means that when you're cutting sticky things, they don't end up covered in glue. If you do use your normal snips and they do end up covered in glue, rubbing alcohol, if you stick them in to soak in a little pot of rubbing alcohol, that will help take off the stick. Okay, let's get our cup on straight there. And our spoon. So these, that was big dimensionals. These are the minis, and these edges around the minis, they're actually really thick, but they are perfect for chopping little pieces for skinny dies. Okay, that one's going in there. Oops. The only downside is the little pieces are fiddly to get the backs off, but you know, do the old thumbnail trick, stick the thumbnail in. And I'm going to put the spoon there. Now you might have noticed on this one, I actually used one of the sentiments from the stamp set. This one's on me, and I actually stamped it on the mug, okay, because this is going to have a Costa gift card in it as a birthday present. So that's why that says this one's on me. I've chosen not to do that on this one. And then I've got these adhesive backed swirls dots, which come in the 3 colours. So there's a sort of a Sahara sand. Oh, no, we haven't got Sahara sand anymore. A basic beige. Is it basic beige? Does it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me actually. It was, they always used to tell us what colours were in here, but it doesn't seem to on the newer ones, which is a bit of a nightmare. But I'm guessing that's basic beige, that's Petal Pink, and I'm guessing that that is Pecan Pie. So we're just going to add a few of these little dots around the card. So they've got this, I'll show you a bit more close up in a minute. They've got this cute little coffee swirl on them. I'm just going for 3, one of each colour, and just putting them on the papers that they'll show up on. So let me see if I can get these to focus on the camera. Yeah, there. Can you see that little cute sort of cream swirl on it? Really quite nice. That's those. And then what we need to do last is add an insert, because obviously you can't write on early espresso. Well, you could in a silver pen or a white pen, but you know, let's not split the hairs. Okay, so I'm going to bring the stamp set back in, and we're just going to put the little coffee. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to go for the little splatter. Oh, dear me. That was the stamp set on the floor. I don't know if you're anything like me and my friend. When I go for a coffee, or, well, mainly I drink tea, but I do occasionally drink coffee. When I go for a coffee or an afternoon tea and we get up, there's always a mess on the tablecloth. We're both quite neat people. My friend's a Virgo. She's usually really neat. But we manage between us somehow to manage to spill tea or cake crumbs or jam or something on to the tablecloth. Okay, and we're just going to stick that inside our card, just so we've got somewhere to write. Now, I'm not going to add a greeting to this card right at the moment. A lot of you, if you watch my videos regularly, you'll know that I often don't put a greeting on a card, and then that way when I decide who I'm going to send it to, then I can add the greeting in. And I think I might turn this into a thank you card, but I haven't made my mind up yet, so I'm going to leave it as is. So there's the two cards. You can see I've got the different papers in different places, and yeah, nice set, online exclusive, so unless you've been on the internet, a lot of the time it gets missed. So have a look. If you go on to, if you're in the UK, go on to stampinup.co.uk, and you should be able to find the online exclusives on the page, and have a look, because there's some really lovely sets and they're not featured in the new annual catalogue, and I think sometimes they don't always get the love they deserve because people aren't aware that they're there. Anyway, there's our two cards. I hope you'll give it a go with the fractured paper technique. Don't forget, you can do this with any DSP. You just need 2 or 3 different sheets to get your combinations, depending on how many cards you want to make. And as I said before, you can always flip it and use the back side, because all of our DSPs pretty much are double-sided, apart from some of the speciality ones. So give it a go, the fractured paper thing. And yeah, please let me know by posting on my Facebook page or sending me a message on my YouTube channel if you have a go, because I'd love to see what you come up with. Right, that's it for today, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching, and happy stamping.